So I have been busy again. I had another unintentional hiatus that I went on. I spent the 4th of July with my family. That was fun. After work, I was invited to a party, so I went. It was fun. And then proceeded to have a very busy week, and finally am winding down, able to sit and talk with you guys this morning. Life is crazy, man. Life is crazy, but we're here, and we're getting it together, just like the podcast and my YouTube channel say. Yeah. So, make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel and following the podcast. Yeah. So here we are, another week. Because of that, I haven't been able to get much through Mockingjay, but I did read some more. So we're trucking along. Last couple of weeks I've been kind of getting more serious. Last couple of episodes haven't been very available for recording, so it's been kind of all over the place. I had a couple YouTube exclusives that I was able to do, and quick smash cut those together, get those all done. That took not that much time. This takes less time a lot of times, but I want to make sure that it's all fluid. So a lot of times, if I don't get the chance to sit down and actually hone in, I don't really want to do it, because I don't want to have to hop it up so much that it's just not really much there. So anyway, getting back to it, I was pretty serious in the last couple of episodes, so I did want to bring a little bit more fun for this episode, a little bit more entertainment. I do want to mix it up and give a little bit of both, because I want it to have that place of hanging out, and sometimes you just talk about fun stuff, and we've been talking about some serious stuff, and I wanted to have a little fun. So kind of drawing off of the movies So Bad They're Good, I wanted to talk about some movies that are unsung heroes, movies that are wonderful even though nobody talks about them. I saw a couple of movies recently that weren't so good. One in particular, it's not a small movie because everybody knows about it, but the movie Radio Flyer, I watched it. Now it would be 2 weeks ago when you're listening to this, and I hated it. I went into it knowing there was something that happens in the story, because I had seen this person on a YouTube video talking about how it's a really well-written movie and it's very good and very well acted and all this stuff. And then I started to watch it, and I was like, okay, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. And by the end, I was like, I wasted 2 hours of my life, and now I gotta go to work. I mean, that was basically, I watched it while I got the dinner dishes cleaned up, and then while I did my makeup and got myself ready for work. And by the time I was done with all that, it was over, and I was just like, that happened. Now we're going to work. I strongly disliked it. It wasn't that good. But there are a few movies that I wanted to talk about that people either don't know about or don't talk about. I don't know if I said this in any of the other episodes. I don't think I had seen it in the episodes that I recorded, but I did see one movie that I did like that people don't really talk about. Speed Racer from 08. Was it 07, 08? I really liked it. I thought it was cute. I heard a lot of things about it when it came out, but then I didn't hear much about it afterward, and I just think it was really well done. As somebody who grew up with a little bit of the Speed Racer, um, like old cartoon, I guess it was. Um, it was kind of cool. I liked it. Thought it was good. Um, and so that kind of brought me to this, and I wanted to make a list to kind of, I don't know, like to make a top 5 list for these movies that nobody talks about. So I want to get into that, and I want to sort of take you through. So the first couple are going to be actually Lifetime movies, which nowadays we associate Lifetime movies with some pretty raunchy stuff, and I don't like it at all. As somebody who grew up in the era of Lifetime movies in the 90s and early 2000s, when it was like shocking true stories ripped from the headlines, or cutesy movies that were like, not cutesy like Hallmark, but cutesy like they were not bad. And there were some good movies on Lifetime. Most of them were more on the true movie side and more of the, that, but they were good. They were really riveting, and lots of cautionary tales and things like that. They weren't bad. And they just got worse as time went. And so, but I do want to bring up a couple of them. So the first one that I want to bring up actually is in that time period, in that era. And many of us who are my age and grew up in the 90s and early 2000s will know the lead of this movie. We are talking about, it sounds very, very bad, and it is very, very bad. Terrible story, but really well acted and great ending. Won't give it away, but it's called Dangerous Child. That sounds gnarly, right? And it is. It's a great story, though. We have Brian Merriman, like I said, we'll all know him, and Delta Burke, the queen of the 90s, in my opinion. She is everything, and I love her. I love her so much. Married to the dad of the 90s, in my humble opinion, one of them, Gerald McGraney. I did not know this until my mom told me, and I was like, oh my gosh, wow. I am a big fan of his too, so anyway. So she plays, obviously, the mom, and she has a son played by Ryan Merriman, and she has another son who's younger. I don't know who plays him. Didn't go into that, but anyway. The story is about her issues with him and his anger, turning 16 and just dealing with all the stuff at 16 years old, except for he has a lot of anger issues, and it escalates. That's all I'm going to say, and it is very serious, and it is something that I think we need to talk about more, because we don't. It was very well acted. The story was very riveting. You wanted him to get better, and I think that was the main purpose of the movie, is like to talk about these issues that, like, when you want to help someone and they're not seeing that. I thought it was really well done. Really well done. Another one in the same vein, because it is Lifetime, and it came out in like 2010, 2011, actually, which is very interesting. And it is shocking, but very well done. I actually just watched this again yesterday. I wasn't going to, but I was like, you know what, I want to watch it today. It is a movie called The Inspiration, and it is about a girl who is a dancer, and she stumbles, words are hard, she stumbles across a website that helps people to not eat and to lose weight continuously, and she spirals, basically, but this story is begging you to look at it, and I think we need to talk about it. Nobody talks about the content that they bring up in the story. And I think it's all part of it. I think it's something that we need to talk about it. One that I actually meant to put first, but that I'm now moving out of the Lifetime, so that makes more sense, is Beautician and the Beast from like 1996 or something. We all love Fran Drescher, right? Who doesn't? If you don't, I question if you have a soul, because she's hilarious and I love her. I love her so much. Oh my gosh. So this movie is a childhood classic for me. It's one of the ones that to this day, it's so comforting and I love it. And I will watch it anytime it's streaming. It's actually streaming right now on Pluto, I think, and I'm so excited to watch it. But I love this story. So I say, obviously Beauty and the Beast is part of it, but it also has a little element of Cinderella and then the Sound of Music. So like those elements put into a story. And so Fran Drescher plays Joy Miller, who is a cosmetology teacher and also trying to work as a makeup artist, and it's not going very well. But a chance encounter with an ambassador for the president of a fictional country causes for her to be hired as a teacher for his children. Even though she's telling him, like, I don't teach school, I'm a cosmetology teacher. It's hilarious setup, but shenanigans ensue, and it is everything that you could possibly want in a movie. And I think the thing that brings it kind of into a level of like unsung movie is like people forget about it. You bring it up and they go, oh yeah, I remember watching that. But for me, you bring it up and I'm like, I literally watched it all the time. Literally, that was one of the movies that was on repeat. It was like this one, It Takes Two, and I don't know, maybe Ferngully. Like those, as a kid, those movies were on repeat for me. And I love it. It's so cute. And I love the fashion. I love the comedy. I think it's just perfect. It's perfect in every way. It's just perfect. The next one is a little darker, and I saw it recently again, but I watched it when it was on Netflix. And funnily enough, I remember there being a Bible verse at the end of it, and I'll get to it, but the story is a true story, but the names are changed because this involves minors. This is called Perfect Sisters, and it has Abigail Breslin and Georgie Henley, who we all know from Narnia. Love them both. They did a great job. They play, obviously, sisters, who they are dealing with their mother, who is a relapsing addict, and they're trying to get help, which does not come, unfortunately, from where they need to get it from. And we all can share in our frustration that so many times the places where you're supposed to be able to find help in those emergencies sometimes don't come. And in the process of the frustration and meeting new people and, sticking with people that maybe necessarily weren't a good idea in the first place, but that they didn't have that thing that many of us get from our parents to watch out for signs, and they did not see that their friends were leading them astray, basically, and plotting to. And I don't like putting it this way, but we all have to be careful on here. Unaliving their mom, and chaos ensues. What are they going to do? How are they going to... It's a lot. But funnily enough, when I watched it on Netflix, I remember it having the Bible verse, the very thing I feared has come upon me, but it didn't. The next time I watched it, it wasn't on there, and I'm curious if Tubi took that off. But I swear I remember seeing that, and I was like, that really brings the story together. I'm not going to give much away. It is definitely worth a watch. Wouldn't watch it again. Definitely worth a watch. Now I give myself plenty of time to talk about this last movie. This one nobody talks about. We talk about Miss Congeniality 1 and 2, they're great movies. I love them. I love watching them. Drop Dead Gorgeous was mentioned recently, which I remember watching it, but I don't remember liking it. I don't remember anything about it. But this movie is called Beautiful, and it has Minnie Driver, which, again, I love her. I think she is such a good actress. I love her voice. I think she brings such a sophistication to her roles. I mean, she was Jane in Tarzan, right? I mean, come on. I think the only person who I really felt like did that role better was Margot Robbie. Like, let's talk about that for a second. That was an amazing movie, right? But I digress. Everybody talks about that movie, so we don't need to go into The Legend of Tarzan, do we? Because everybody talks about that movie. But this movie also has Haley Kate Eisenberg, which I remember from a TV version of The Miracle Worker, but most people remember from the Pepsi commercial because that was everywhere. And then also she was in a movie called Polly with a parrot that helped her in the story. She plays a little girl who can't speak very well, and he teaches her, basically. I don't know. It was a weird movie. I didn't like it, but anyway. In this movie, she plays a little girl who gets to see Minnie Driver's character, Mona, go through beauty pageants. And the story, I don't want to give too much away because I really want you guys to watch it. I don't really know where it's streaming right now. I think it's streaming on Tubi right now, but I could be wrong. I have it on DVD. I bought it because it's one of my favorite movies. I think the premise of the story is so good. She grew up in a home that was not good and felt that she wanted to be validated in her beauty, so she joined beauty contests and tried to win them any way she could. And turns out she really was beautiful. There's so much in the story that comes with it that I don't want to give away, but I think it's such a real, we had Miss Congeniality that brought the comedy to it, which was great. Love Sandra Bullock. I think she's hilarious in the movies. Both of them. They're both great. But this movie brought so much reality to it that I think it's maybe a little better. I don't want to... There's comedy in this movie. Don't get me wrong. There's comedy in this movie. And I think this is kind of probably somebody saw this movie and thought, I wonder if we could make it full on, this is supposed to be funny instead of melancholy funny, that they then came up with Miss Congeniality, because I don't, it was very close in time. So this movie came out in 2000. Miss Congeniality came out in 02, 03. So, but one of my favorite things about the story is yes, you get like the pretty costumes, and you get Minnie Driver singing an amazing version of Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow, which let's just gush over that for a minute. That was amazing. But also you get this moment with the little girl where she wants to know something, and the answer is there, but Mona can't give it. And it's so well acted by both of them. It's just so good. So good. Again, if you have not seen it, look it up. It's worth watching. It's something that I think will be a rewatch for you guys. This one, if none of the other movies are rewatchable, this one is. And I think that's why I wanted to end on it, because I wanted to just, it's one of the ones that I think you're gonna like. So I hope I gave you guys some good movies to check out. Maybe you're having some time off and you want to check them out. Maybe you want to save them up for the weekend. What's the next holiday coming up? Labor Day. Man, this summer is going fast. Yeah, I don't know, you guys. You might like them, so check them out. And don't forget to tune in next time. I might not be on every week, like I said, but I'm gonna be here, and I'm going to always have something different and fresh and exciting to talk about. And I hope you guys are enjoying it. Thank you so much for listening, and make sure you're commenting down below. I really want to know what you guys want to talk about. Do you guys want to hear more like this, or, more serious? What topics are you interested in? And let me know. Bye.